people, welcome to Prep Elevate. Let's continue with the decision making series and we'll try and tackle another set today. The ground rules that we have to remember, very simple. Try creating a win-win situation for all the stakeholders involved. We should not take any extreme or biased decisions. We should try and be fair to all the parties. Okay? Ethical decisions are appreciated, right? And also one more thing very important, no sacrificial decisions. Okay, you don't sacrifice your own interests for other stakeholders involved. चलो ये सेट देखते हैं. All these are actual ZAT previous year questions. Okay, क्या है सेट में? The occasion was a hyper publicized switch on ceremony of solar power facilities on an island with many villages in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, Bay of Bengal में काफी सारे villages हैं, उसके एक particular island में वो लोग सोलर पावर फैसिलिटीज इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं. तो उसको एक बहुत ही इट इज अ हाइपर पब्लिसाइज्ड इवेंट. ओके, सो उसको ऑब्वियसली हाइपर पब्लिसाइज्ड मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा उसकी प्रमोशन हुई होगी, या कुछ फेमस लोगों को बुलाएंगे, लाइव स्ट्रीम करेंगे, आज के डेट में जो होता है. ठीक है. PK was the brand ambassador of a multinational company that was banking heavily on this CSR initiative to strengthen its presence in India. तो जब भी ऐसा कोई बड़ा स्केल पे इवेंट होता है ना, उसमें काफी सारे कोलैबोरेटर्स होते हैं, काफी सारे लोग होते हैं जो उसमें डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं. ऑब्वियसली उनका अपना इंटरेस्ट होता है, अपना प्रॉफिट्स रहता है उसमें. तो पीके एक ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है एक MNC के, और ये CSR इनिशिएटिव सक्सेसफुल हो, ये उनका मानना है कि he wants it to be successful because obviously he has his interest, so he wants to strengthen its presence in India, कंपनी का presence. तो उनके लिए ये जरूरी है कि ये इवेंट सक्सेसफुली कंडक्ट हो. For the millions of fans enamored by the aging superstars Robin Hood like on-screen exploits, the pre-event speech of PK was their first glimpse into his off-screen persona. Okay, so ये जो PK हैं, on screen he's played a lot of roles जो कि Robin Hood like roles. Robin Hood type के roles का क्या मतलब होता है? Robin Hood was a character who would take riches from the rich and give it to the poor. इस थीम पे काफी मूवीज भी बनी हुई है, राइट? कि जो हीरो होते हैं वो बेसिकली दे बिहेव लाइक अ विलन, बट एक्चुअली इन देयर हार्ट्स ऑफ हार्ट्स दे आर गुड पीपल. ठीक है, उनका इंटरेस्ट काफी अच्छा रहता है, बट उनका जो बिहेवियर रहता है दैट इज टुवर्ड्स द विलनस साइड, है ना? तो उसी तरह का उनका ऑन स्क्रीन प्रेजेंस हमेशा इज लाइक वेल नोन फॉर हिज रॉबिन हुड लाइक ऑन स्क्रीन एक्सपर्ट्स. तो उसी तरह हाउ फैंस आइडेंटिफाई विद सेलिब्रिटीज. अभी हाल फिलहाल में पुष्पा, राइट? पुष्पा द रूल. तो उसका कैसे आप प्रोटैगनिस्ट के साथ रिलेट करते हो, राइट? तो वो उनका एक ऑन स्क्रीन पर्सोना, काफी पावरफुल जो रोल्स रहते हैं, लोग उस तरह रिलेट करते हैं. तो व्हेन ही गेव हिज प्री इवेंट स्पीच, तो लोगों को उनका एक ऑफ स्क्रीन पर्सोना देखने को मिला, राइट? तो लोग जनरली उनको ऑन स्क्रीन रॉबिन हुड हीरो लार्जर देन लाइफ इमेज में देखते थे. तो ऑफ स्क्रीन पर्सोना इस इवेंट के प्री इनॉग्रल स्पीच में उन्होंने देखा लोगों ने. After an emotional speech that extolled the virtues of electricity as a driver of well-being and need for inclusive growth, PK with a flourish of his hand hit the button to remotely switch on the solar power facilities. Okay. तो अभी क्या हुआ कि he was the person, so let's say treat him as a chief guest जो ribbon cutting करते हैं. So he first gave a very nice speech, that electricity is so important, it is important, it's a basic need for growth, for well-being. And then he switched on that button कि वो solar power facilities जो introduce होगा उसका एक button है, he switched that. अब क्या हुआ? Tens of media cameras stationed in at the island villages started beaming live feed across the world. So जैसे उन्होंने वो button press किया ना, live stream start हो गया. Obviously they want to showcase it to the world. It's a huge event. Quickly, the event turned from one of joy to something of shock and horror as all that thatched households on the island caught fire. Okay, कुछ बहुत ही ट्रैजिक हो गया. जैसे वो बटन प्रेस हुआ ना, उससे लाइट्स ऑन होने थे, राइट? वो सोलर पावर फैसिलिटीज, बट फॉर सम रीजन, सम अनफॉर्चुनेट रीजन, द island they caught fire. So वहाँ पे जो thatched households थे ना, so the households which are like hay and all stacked households that way, Suddenly उस पे आग लग गई, that caught fire. Okay, just imagine, they were live streaming it, such a huge event, huge popularity, huge star, and then they have, like, probably promoted it also, right? And then live stream ho raha hai. You expect everything, you have a nice speech, you expect people to feel happy. They are, they are being blessed with electricity now, solar power electricity, and suddenly the houses, they catch fire. Okay, a few villagers were seriously injured in the fire. Watching the coverage, PK slammed the MNC representative standing next to him on live camera and collapsed on the couch with his head in his hands. Okay, so this was a very, very impulsive decision. So, क्या हुआ जैसे ही the fire spread and he realized what had happened. He also realized the enormity of the situation, कि ये कितने दूर तक ये बात जाएगी अभी. So बिना कुछ सोचे, he just slapped the PR, representative, the MNC representative next to him, and he just put his hands on his head and he just, he just thumped onto the couch, just like with his. How do you behave? कि आप एक expectation है ना एक certain event से, and when things start going wrong, you don't realize what you're doing. Probably that is when you should keep your calm, and that is why decision making is an important section also. So probably his decision making was a little off that day. So without even thinking, he just reacted impulsively. He just slapped the MNC representative, and then he put his hands on his head and he just rest on the couch. ठीक है कि ये क्या हो गया? Imagine the extent of damage, reputational damage. There are people watching, your popularity is going to take a hit, and then you ended up slapping somebody. You are not allowed to slap an adult that way. It's not right, it's not ethical. And you slap the MNC representative. बहुत ह्यूज स्केल डैमेज हो गया. जो आपने सोचा था तो वो तो हुआ ही नहीं, एंड साथ में you've added fuel to fire with your behavior. And he is a public figure. People know him for his Robin Hood like persona. He's supposed to be people's savior. He cannot be behaving this way. ठीक है, ये है set. अब questions देखते हैं. The time when I'm recording this is very relevant and very contemporary. Why? This is obviously, I think this is a set from 21, if I'm not wrong. अभी अभी एक पुष्पा 2 जो मूवी रिलीज हुई है हाल फिलहाल में, इसका एक प्रमोशनल इवेंट में समथिंग ट्रैजिक हैपेंड, फॉर विच अल्लू अर्जुन वाज आल्सो जेल्ड फॉर अ नाइट. Okay, so because of mismanagement of crowd, a child happened to be in a very, very serious situation, lost his mother in the stampede of that publicity event where they were there to promote, and that is why he was arrested, because he's supposed to be the leading figure for which the crowds gathered. Lots of things happen behind the camera. So जब आपका एक certain celebrity persona होता है, your presence has to ensure safety. ये बहुत बहुत important है. ठीक है, अच्छा देखते क्वेश्चन क्या है. Soon after, the MNC filed a case against PK for criminal assault and tarnishing its brand image. Obviously, brand image है एक company का, you can't slap people associated with the company. It's not right. And imagine live stream हो रहा था पूरा चीज. Okay, which of the following is the most appropriate reason for the MNC to file a case against PK? So they have filed a case for what? Criminal assault. Okay, so which of these following reason is the most appropriate for them to file a case against PK? क्या क्या reasons हैं? It is a message to the MNC stakeholders that it will not tolerate such inappropriate behavior. This is a very good stance to take, that we as a company do not encourage or tolerate such behavior. If you happen to misbehave with our representative, we are going to take strong steps against it, no matter who you are. Okay, you might be somebody who holds a high position or status in society, but we are going to act responsibly. Okay, that's a good one. The MNC's mission statement includes employee first, customer second. No, ऐसा कोई नहीं होता है कि employee first, customer second. ऐसा नहीं होता है. This is not right. The MNC is forced to respond given the public slapping of its representative. No, it should be the responsibility of the MNC to respond. They cannot be forced to respond on such a situation. ऐसा होना ही चाहिए, ethically यही होना चाहिए. You should back your representative. The MNC intends to arrest its dropping sales post the incident through affirmative action. No, There are other ways of boosting your sales. This is not the right platform. You're not supposed to use negative publicity to boost your sales. At least that's not ethical. A lot of things happen these days, but वो ethical नहीं है. And somebody has just slapped your representative on live feed. You have to back that person. You don't use it as a reason to boost your sales. Okay. The highly brand conscious MNC is using PK to divert public attention. No, this cannot be a reason why they should file a case. Okay, एक ही सही और appropriate reason लग रहा है that it sends out a message that as an MNC they don't tolerate such behavior. ठीक है, easy था ये question. Okay, post the slapping incident there was a strong social media backlash against PK. His PR team suggested the following social media releases that he could use not only to defend himself but also to garner positive reactions. अच्छा, ये होता है आज के डेट में, आपने ये काफी देखा होगा. Suppose celebrity gets into some kind of unfortunate incident, उसके बाद the PR team is all set to offset the losses. ठीक है, उनका काम ये होता है. So they bring the celebrity back into good light. तो सोशल मीडिया पे तुरंत बैकलैश होने लगता है, रिएक्शंस आने लगते हैं. दे स्टार्ट बॉयकॉटिंग सर्टेन फिगर्स, दे स्टार्ट बॉयकॉटिंग देयर मूवीज, शोज, व्हाटएवर. तो अभी पीआर टीम ने कुछ ऐसे एक्शंस सजेस्ट किए हैं दैट यू शुड डिफेंड योर पब्लिक इमेज एंड एज वेल एज गार्नर पॉजिटिव रिएक्शंस. ओके, सो क्या क्या स्टेप्स है और क्या क्वेश्चन है? व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सोशल मीडिया रिलीजेस विल बेस्ट हेल्प पीके अचीव द पर्पस? पर्पस क्या है? डिफेंड भी करना है मुझे खुद को और पॉजिटिव इमेज वापस से रिक्रिएट करने की कोशिश करनी है. ठीक है, तो खुद को बेसिकली अपने एक्शंस को किसी वे में तो जस्टिफाई करना है ना. और क्या ऐसा बेस्ट रीजन हो सकता है? ठीक है, तो क्या रीजंस है? ही स्ट्रांगली बिलीव्स इन एन आई फॉर एन आई. नो, आप ऐसी चीजें नहीं बोल सकते. आप सेलिब्रिटी हैव टू स्पीक इन अ वेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फैशन. यू कांट इग्नाइट सोशल हेट्रेड. ये आपका काम नहीं है. दिस इज नॉट राइट. His on-screen Robin Hood image influences his off-screen behavior. तो लोग आपको irresponsible समझेंगे. That's your professional stance. This is your personal stance. You can't mix them both up and say that okay. So then tomorrow, if you are going to play a dacoit in a movie, are you going to go out and loot people in the real world? ये तो वही हो गया ना कि मुझे जो रोल मिलता है मैं उसके साथ इतना ही कनेक्ट हो जाता हूँ कि मैं रियल लाइफ में डिस्कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाता. उसकी वजह से मेरा बिहेवियर ऐसा. That's not right. The MNC deserved more than just a slap for its irresponsible actions. No, ये response कभी भी appreciated नहीं है. You have tied up with an MNC. Your reputation is also at stake. If you feel they're not responsible enough, you should have done the background check. ठीक है, आपके ऊपर था ये. The plight of the islanders deserved an immediate delivery of justice. Was justice served by slapping the MNC representative? Is that the way to serve justice? Is that the way to define justice? क्या justice किया आपने? आपने कोई justice नहीं किया. You slapped an MNC representative and then you retired on the couch. ये कौन सा justice serve किया आपने? ये कौन सा immediate justice deliver किया आपने? नहीं किया आपने कुछ ऐसा. He reacted as the sight of the villages ablaze was unbearable. Yes. See, ये right नहीं हो सकता, as in ये right course of action नहीं है, but given all the other choices, this is comparatively your human side. You can always, make a mistake, and then the way to defend it is to first accept that yes, that was an impulsive reaction. Okay? तो लोग लॉन्ग टर्म में उस चीज को आपके पर्सनालिटी के साथ फिर एसोसिएट नहीं करेंगे, है ना. बट अगर आप ऐसे करो दैट या आई बिलीव इन एन आई फॉर एन आई, वट एवर आई डिड वाज राइट, दे डिजर्व्ड मोर देन अ स्लैप, ये फिर आपके इमेज के साथ एसोसिएट होने लगता है. ठीक है, तो आप ये सारी चीजें नहीं करके, इवन इफ being a human, if you happen to commit some mistake in the public eye, first step is acceptance of the mistake, that yes, I reacted impulsively, and in this case the reason stated that suddenly the villages, they caught fire, the thatched houses caught fire, so that was unbearable, so he could not really fathom like how should I react, and the first thing that came to his mind, he did that. He probably considering that you should have taken better care of the arrangements and stuff. तो इस वजह से आई एम नॉट एनी वे जस्टिफाइंग द एक्शन. ये नहीं है, जस्टिफाई नहीं करना है. जस्ट one of the possible ways of defending himself and probably containing the social media backlash. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है, रियल लाइफ में भी ऐसा होता है, ये डैमेज कंट्रोल करना पड़ता है. Okay, few months passed, slapping incident still garnered a good number of views on social media. होता है ना, कुछ ऐसा बड़ा इंसिडेंट हो जाता है तो उसका एक आफ्टर इंसिडेंट जो पोस्ट इंसिडेंट इफेक्ट रहता है वो चलते रहता है. PK's publicist was aware that PK harbored a desire to join politics. Okay, so PK ka, a lot of celebrities, right? They intend to join politics sometime or the other. So PK was one of them. She wanted PK to make the most of the publicity around the incident before it faded away from public memory in the next few months. Okay, so PK is still in news. Okay, may not be for the best of reasons, but है ना, news में है, visibility है. So PK की जो publicist है, she wants that PK should make the most of this. तो जब तक आपको views आ रहे हैं, जब तक लोग आपको you are in news, you are trending, okay, तो आप उस popularity को एक बेहतर वे में चैनलाइज करके यूज कर सकते हो, सिंस यू एम टू गेट इनटू पॉलिटिक्स समटाइम्स इन फ्यूचर. तो लेट्स सी किस तरह से हम लोग उसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. Which of the following options will best help PK take just advantage of the situation? So now they have to take advantage of the situation. Advantage as in कि जब लोग मेरे बारे में बातें कर ही रहे हैं तो मैं देखता हूँ कि किस तरह मैं इसको अपने पॉपुलैरिटी को बूस्ट करने में यूज कर सकता हूँ. ठीक है, अभी सडनली अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु मे नॉट हैव इवन नोन हिम और फॉलोड हिज वर्क, नाउ ही इज सडनली इन न्यूज. ओके, तो लोग प्रॉब्लम उनको जानेंगे पहचानेंगे थोड़ा, तो दे वांट टू टेक एडवांटेज. तो क्या कर सकते हैं? He should announce that he is entering politics with a slogan, one tight slap. Do you ever, would you want to favor a candidate who enters with a slogan, one tight slap? ये किस तरह का slogan है? He is going to serve the public, right? So these things don't work. These things are good for, limited publicity. Suddenly you grab attention. Long term में, if you have to enter politics, serve public, these things don't work. These gimmicks don't work. He should launch the slap the greedy campaign and urge his fans to slap greedy officials. कुछ भी ऐसा आप नहीं कर सकते अनएथिकल. You live in a civilized society. ये चीजें गलत है, ऐसा नहीं करना है. Okay. In his upcoming movie, in the opening scene, he should slap and shame a treacherous corporate official who swindles poor villagers. No. आप अपनी मूवी के एक सीन में, सी अगेन, एज अ पब्लिक फिगर यू हैव अ सर्टेन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. ठीक है, आप उसमें खुद को इस तरह से अगर पोर्ट्रे करोगे वेर यू गो अराउंड स्लैपिंग पीपल, no matter who you are dealing with, what character are you playing, and then you bring that persona into your real life and say, okay, this is the kind of politician that I'm going to be, nobody's ideally is going to support you, right? So ऐसा नहीं है. You should take ethical stances and you should not take such extreme steps to create this kind of negative persona. ठीक है? He should meet the MNC representative he slapped and apologize to him in a public meeting. This is one way of damage control, but then it is not going to do the long term intention of serving public. अब जब भी पॉलिटिक्स में जाते हो ना, तो आपका इंटेंशन, हाउ डू यू बिकम गुड इन द आईज ऑफ द पब्लिक when you do something which is in the interest of the public. आपके पर्सनल लाइफ में सपोज यू हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग, लाइक ही स्लैप्ड दिस representative and then he goes on to let's say apologize, that is course correction. वो आपके इमेज को आपने वो ये डैमेज कंट्रोल किया. बट पॉलिटिक्स में अगर आपको एंटर करना है, उस इंसिडेंट को यूज करना है, तो यू हैव टू यूज इट इन अ वे दैट tells people that you are one of them, you are there to serve them in the long term. ठीक है, ये तो आप खुद का like इमेज आप डैमेज कंट्रोल कर रहे हो, इमेज टार्निशिंग को आप थोड़ा सबसाइड कर रहे हो. ठीक है, और क्या है? He should visit the island and publicly promise to rebuild the island villages and publicize it in the social media. Yes, damage यहाँ पे हुआ है, and being a public figure, he should take responsibility, and obviously he can, like financially, I think he's a celebrity, he can take that responsibility, and he should go and like see to it that things are done in the interest of the public. Whatever damage has happened, he should make sure that he rebuilds the villages, and then he can go ahead and publicize. So this is goodwill. वो एक्शन जो आपने अच्छा किया हो गया, कुछ डैमेज हुआ, कुछ बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट्स हुए वहां पर, बट अब लोग इस बारे में बात करने लगेंगे। अटेंशन वो स्लैप इंसिडेंट से डाइवर्ट होके ये डैमेज कंट्रोल पर आ जाएगा कि अच्छा सो पीके इज ही इज अ जेनरस सेलिब्रिटी, वॉट एवर हैज हैपेंड। तो पब्लिसिटी उसको कुछ दिन के लिए उसके लिए मिल गई, अब लोग इस बारे में बात करेंगे दैट सी हाउ वेल ही इज हैंडल्ड, सो he is a reliable public figure now, so now that if he intends to join politics, वो इस चीज को यूज कर सकता है दैट दिस इज हाउ आई सर्व द पब्लिक। ठीक है, तो ये 3 क्वेश्चंस थे इस सेट में। आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड। इजी था सेट, बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट नहीं था। आप प्रैक्टिस करो एंड कीप गेटिंग बेटर एट इट। सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ट्यूनिंग इन। आई विल सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट वन।